Now, here we are back in the van. So what I need to do today is go up to the store and get some materials right away. Basically, they make this kind of silver, chromish looking reflective insulation, which I'm going to pretty much be putting all over everything, and getting furring, is it called furring boards, to run along these, and then kind of add where I feel necessary on the walls, be able to screw and or nail or glue the actual panels to. So it's early in the morning and I'm just sitting here like half at it. So and I need to get a bunch of wiring so I can run the wires up to wherever the pocket lights will be, wherever the fans are going to be. There's going to be 2 fans in the roof. So route those wires down probably over here from the roof. And then, yeah, so got to get wires, got to get the insulation, got to get the furring boards, got to get some of the tongue and groove or whatever types of panels I choose to use to make it look nice in here. At least try to get another large bulk of materials so I can continue working on this thing in the next couple of days. I did kind of plan out the majority. I mean, the diesel heater will be like right here, and the arrow come out, blow out this way, so that needs to be wired in. The lights, pocket lights in the ceiling and the fans in the ceiling need to be wired in. Yeah, I don't know how carried away I'm going to get on the wiring yet, but if I do get super carried away on the wiring, then I'm probably going to try to contact somebody that is really well experienced with wiring, because I don't want to wing anything like that. So like I said, the goal is to build this thing out to be comfortable, usable, and have pretty much everything you need in it to full-time live out of it. If you wanted to go travel for a month, the only thing you wouldn't have is a shower, because there's no way that I'm going to be able to fit that in here, and I don't want to go through that hassle either. So kind of your typical camper van, everything but a shower. But I could put an outside shower. They do make those portable heated water showers that are like an outdoor camping shower, and I've seen people mount them in the back and have a little thing to hang the shower on the back door. But besides that, yeah, building it out to be, you know, as decent as possible, but keeping the price like realistic. I've been watching some videos on YouTube of people building vans out, and some of these people are getting like carried away. There's a person on YouTube that bought a van similar to mine, except theirs had 30,000 more miles on it and a lot more rust. Mine has like almost no rust. It's like beautiful clean van. So they buy this van, right? And they pay way more money for the van than I did, first of all. They paid like double what I paid for a higher mileage rusty van. And just on their electrical system alone, they spent $3,000 wiring this van. I honestly think it's stupid. Like, you're never going to get your money back out of it, so you're throwing your money in the garbage, basically. All right. So we got ourselves some gas. We got a couple drinks. Now we're going to hit the road, go get some materials. Alright, so we're in town. God, it must be early. I don't even realize what time it is right now. Is it 7 o'clock yet? I don't know. But here, look at this van. I actually was trying to source out a van like this one here. Same thing as mine, except it has the high top. And finding a van with a high top like that in decent condition is a pain in the ass unless you want to spend a ton of money. We're going to back up into the 15-minute parking here if we can, because I'm not playing no games. Oh, Cybertruck. Prices for this wood should be illegal. It is beyond retarded. I mean, you want like a 12-foot fucking floor trim board? $35 for one? Are you fucking nuts? 3.5 inch wide, 8-foot cedar board is $27. That's fucking insane. So I'm not doing that. There's no way I'm gonna spend, you know, $1,000 on fucking wood for an Econoline van build. So I'm gonna look into some of these options, which is what was in the last van I built, or the last van that I worked on. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on with this wood these days. So the last van had, wow, these even went up. Is that the same? My God, fuck you. This was 1998, like 6 months ago. 27.98. So we're gonna go to Home Depot instead, because they actually have 12-foot cedar tongue and groove boards over there for cheaper than the 8-foot boards at Menards. I was gonna do the 8x4-foot panels and do 3 of them and just kind of section them out in here, but there's no good way to even section them out unless I added furring strips coming the long way, which I can do that too. Maybe I will, I don't know, but I'm just gonna go see what Home Depot has first before I make any quick decisions on what I want to do, because if they have a decent price on cedar tongue and groove boards, that's what I would like. I'd kind of like to have that sauna smell in here. You know, one thing with this van that I'm not used to is that it has this old school lights on and off switch, and I realized that if you leave the lights on, at least for a half hour, the lights are still going to be on. So I have to remember to shut them off every time I get out, because I'm used to more expensive vehicles. I actually really like this van. It's badass, dude. All right, let's see what we can find at Home Depot. Hopefully they have a better selection of shit here. So we need some of this shit. 48 inches. So 48. Could probably get away with 2 of these. How much are these fuckers? $60. I think we need to have probably 2 of this. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, this van's amazing, dude. These are 12-foot boards. They're completely in, and they can still go ahead another foot. No problem. This van is more useful than the trucks. Decided to go with this shit because it'll be cleaner to work with. Oh, shit. Kind of curious if any packages have been delivered to the house here and have been left outside. So let's see. Pulling up to the crib, I don't see any boxes, so maybe we're just a little early on that. By the way, when I had a chance yesterday, I had a few minutes of free time. I pulled the old hubcaps off, painted the rims themselves because they were silver, now they're black, and then I threw the new hubcaps on. Definitely like this look a lot better. Looks like the UPS guy is here with a couple more boxes. All right, let's see. Oh, diesel heater. Let's open these together. This, I think this is a diesel heater. This should be a cooktop. Wonder how big it is. No, it's a lot smaller than, geez. I was like, holy shit, if it's that big. It's in a box. You could have shipped it to me like this. Oh, that would fucking suck. Oh. This is a cutting template. Nice. Other than that, this is the cooktop. And yeah, I'm gonna build that in. This should be a diesel heater, which I don't know if I'm gonna pull it all the way out right now. Maybe. But I should at some point. I should make sure that it's not dented, because why would you accept something dented? So, whatever. Couplers. So yeah, here's the diesel heater. Yeah. Hefty old boy. Also got a bunch of got 8 little LED pocket lights, dimmables, and a switch that goes with it. Dimming switch. It's a nice little clean looking switch. This is the sink, stainless steel camper sink. It's got a water pump. What's in here again? Oh yeah, this is that Everbond, or that tape for like the roof. This is the faucet deal. Nice black faucet. And these 2 boxes here are the vents. Electric roof vents. They're the fans. They're not just vents, they're fans. So this is the new truck. I need to buff it. This is from a Minnesota state auction. And it's got some fine scratches all over it. Try and buff those bad boys out sometime this week. Okay, so there should be wiring. Oh, wait a minute. No. It should be in here somewhere. Unless it's in Michigan, I guess. Oh, there is some wiring in here. What do we got? Oh yeah, a bunch of wiring. All right, so we got it. So, first things first, I pulled these vents out, or at least one of the vents out. They're both exactly the same. Made this template 1/8 of an inch wider than this section and this section here. So we got ourselves a little template here that we will use to trace out onto the roof and try to square it out as much as we can, obviously. And then, you know, cut this hole out. And then we'll butyl tape all of this and drop these vents down in. The problem is just waiting for the weather to clear still, dude. Like 4 days in a row of shit. Okay, so now what you want to do, you want to take your template and a marker, and you're going to want to trace onto the inside where you're going to want your vents, and then drill out the 4 corners, and then take the saw or cutting wheel of your choice and cut out the square. So let's get to it. So here's my template I made. So I want a vent here. And then I also want a vent back there over the bed. So try to get it as center as possible. And trace out your vent kind of where you want it. Trace that out. Make sure you're actually like tracing out almost exactly in line with the board. We're gonna go to the back and do the same thing right away. Just do it step by step. Trace, drill, cut, and then once it's cut, you gotta rust proof this shit. Oh shit. So now we got to grab the drill holes in these corners, and then we can take a saw or cutoff wheel of choice and cut out all the straight lines. So I think I'm going to start with a small drill bit and work my way up to a bigger drill bit, and then use this jigsaw deal instead of the cutoff wheel. I think it'll just be cleaner. So let's start with a small bit. There's a hole. I think I'm also gonna do one, so step up the holes, cut this one out, make sure the vent fits, maybe even butyl tape it and do the rust proof and get it down, and then probably do the other one just in case it starts raining, so I don't have two holes. So if you're using a cutoff wheel, you can obviously just do it from the inside where you traced, but since we want to use this jigsaw thing, we're gonna retrace this on the outside from corner to corner here, and jigsaw from the outside. Got the hole cut out. I couldn't reach the camera when I got over there, so I just finished cutting it, but the roof was shaking like absolutely crazy. So I feel like I'm gonna have to try to fit the vent, and I'm probably gonna have to trim some stuff. So let's do that. To trim that other side, let's go look. Just a hair. So we're gonna just trace just right there, and we can trim that out. So she fits in the hole. She's snug, but I'd rather have it snug than too big. So now what we're gonna do is pull it back out and clean the area off, rust proof it, use some butyl tape, and get her laid down, screwed down, and then Eternabond it. So this is what I'm seeing most people do, using butyl tape, which is what this butyl tape, to fill in this gap and then run a piece along the side and then put the vent on and then Eternabond it. So yeah, you run butyl tape where basically inside of the screws there you can see the groove where you're supposed to. Make sure when you install these vents that you always install them so when they open, they're opening up like towards the front of the vehicle, so when you're driving the wind can't catch it and rip it off. And she's snug, that's for damn sure. So they give you these 4 small gold screws for the inside with the head painted white. Make sure you don't put those on the outside if you end up using the same vent. So I guess we're gonna drill holes and put them in, and then so we got it on basically as flush as it's gonna sit. The roof itself is kind of ripples a little bit because it's a long straight panel, and you know, so we're gonna clean it all up around it now and then put down some Eternabond tape. I want to figure out the best method to the front. I think I'll just go over that and down, and then do a piece coming down the side, and then just, you know, big strips around. But the front is the interesting part. The way they design this is kind of questionable, but so this is Eternabond tape, just white RV sealant tape
And if you buy this stuff, you should get Eternabond. It's definitely the best. Make sure before you apply this that you wipe around the vent. You get, first of all, blow all the metal shavings away, and then clean with glass cleaner with no ammonia, and then clean it with like an alcohol, and just wipe it down with like an alcohol. There's no good way to put that shit on where that hinge is. So I redid it like 3 or 4 times because it wasn't good enough. And basically, I think your best option would be to use potentially some sort of RTV sealant out of a tube and try and get a nice bead out of that. Go all the way around it and whatever, but you'd probably have to scuff the roof then. I'm not sure. With this stuff, you don't have to scuff the roof, but I might do a clear or something sort of maybe even white rubberized coating on the roof where you can't see it from down here, only where all of the solar panels and all that other bullshit is going to end up. Because then I want to put a rack, one of those heavy duty racks that people turn into decks and stuff above that potentially, so you'd never see a lot of that stuff. When I'm done, I'm gonna wash all this metal off of here, obviously. Yep. So it doesn't sit and corrode up here, but... And then I'll just check for leaks, you know, at the same time. Yeah, it is horrible. How do you even get a drill in here well, you know? Like, I mean, the average drill is gonna be like this size.
Yeah, it's a poor design.
So you gotta hold it like...
So what is this?
This is Eternabond. It's really fucking sticky. It's crazy. It's like butyl tape with plastic on the top. If you stick it down, it's a pain in the ass to get it.
Yeah, especially if it's sad, it's not coming up, huh?
No, if this shit sits for a couple weeks in the sun, you're fucked. Yeah, see, like, this little fan is good for blowing shit out.
Oh, yeah.
Turn it on low.
Feeling good.
And
Below the camera.
They make stronger ones too. That's the crazy thing. Oh shit. Where's the fucking... Oh, here it is. Alright.
No.
So it's like, should fix it up quick. Other than that, good times.
You're not kidding.
What is your brand diesel heater, you remember?
Vevor. V-E-V-O-R.
I got the same one, I think.
Nice.
So just washing the van off, getting all that metal shavings off. Ooh, hiccup. At the same time as well, checking for leaks on those vents. I got both of the vents up there. Eternabond, butyl tape, rust proofed. No leaks up there yet that I've seen. Let's go in here. I also took some, I don't have it in here. It's like an RTV sealant. And I ran around all the way around the sides on the inside. And, oh, it's dry already. Put on some of the screws. But no leaks from those. So I did have a leak on this glass here, which I just tightened up these bolts. They were like finger frickin' tight. They weren't even. I bet the back ones are just as bad. Let's try this door here. Oh, they're okay. Oh, this one. You can take it right off. That's how loose. They were looser than that over there. So I'm gonna snug all these windows up. They're all watertight now, but that one was really leaking a lot. So we're gonna snug all those up, make sure that none of those are, that one's on the outside, right? Yeah. Yeah, that water's running on the outside. So after realizing how much these can leak when they're loose, I'm going to make sure that when I build this out, I'll probably make frames for these. Like on this door, no. I'll probably use some sort of carpeting here and then trim this out with wood, but I'm gonna frame these out so you can easily take those frames off and get access to those bolts and take the windows out if needed or tighten them up, because there's no way that I'm gonna make it inaccessible and then run into an issue a few months down the road. That'd be stupid. Also, when it comes to the vents, maybe do a little bit of research. The ones that I bought having the hinge and having the screws go through the hinge is a really piss poor design. The only way to do it well would be to use an RTV sealant or be really specific on the way that you put the Eternabond down like I did. But see if you can find a design where the screws are not built into that hinge, whether there's cutouts for them or it's like a strip that comes out, because I think that would be a way better design. So I bought this new wire cutter deal here, crimper, you know, kind of the whole tool in one. Not the best tool. It's like, compared to the one I used to have, it's kind of a turd. So once you have connected the wires and crimped them, heat shrink the butt connectors, kind of get the waterproof heat shrinking connectors if you can, and then I wrap them with this electrical insulating tape for kind of just a second precautionary sort of thing. I'm gonna route these wires to here, and then I'm gonna run them along this wire here, just tape them to that one all the way to the back, and then use aluminum tape, put a couple spots there, and just leave a bunch of extra, you know, a few extra feet in the back, and then do the same with the other one, route the wire over and down, label them in the back, which, you know, front fan, back fan, positive, negative, and then run the lights, or the wires for the lights. So a couple pieces of tape. So basically, wires come out, they're aluminum taped. That's where the connectors are, aluminum taped, and then I just ran them along there, down into the back of the bed, and then I wrapped them up, and I'll label them front fan. And then I'll do the same with the back one, route it over and down, aluminum tape where I need to keep it up against the ceiling, and then mark that one back fan, and then I'll route the wires for the lights, and that'll basically start in the back and come up and loop down, loop down, loop down, and then go back, loop down. They'll be in line with each other. That's kind of how they recommend it. All right, so both the fans are officially watertight. The wires are run for both. Come back here. Got the wires running off this one. Both of them are routed over here and down through here. I should just tape this one too here. And then I got the rear fan and the front fan. So back one's wired up to the battery now. Let's double check. Please work. Come on. Oh, good. It does. Let's open it up. Not to build up some crazy amount of pressure. Air out. Boom. And turn that off. Very important, if you can, to test things as you go. Test them when you take them out of the box, and then when you route the wires to wherever it is that you're going to have all of your power stuff, test it again. Test as many times as you possibly can as you're building to make sure that if you do run into an issue where at some point in time something isn't working, you kind of know at least in what section of wiring is the problem. So for now, I know that the fans are not a problem. They work perfect all the way back to where they're going to be wired into. That's where all the power shit is going to be, right? So good. Next will be the lights. And once I get all the lights run up, I'm going to get those put in as I'm building the ceiling from the middle out, and then I'll test the lights before I finish the ceiling to make sure that they all work. And if they all work, then finish off the ceiling. That'll probably be tomorrow though, but so yeah, let's move on. So basically in here, because my batteries and all the electrical is going to be back in that back corner, and then the diesel heater there, that's kind of where all of the power is going to be, all the BS. That means I need to route wires from there where the power source will be to wherever I want my switch to be. And then from there make my way up to the ceiling and do the wires for the lights. Oh, I got the hiccups, dude. It's bullshit. Through all of the beams, obviously you're gonna take some foil tape and foil it to the roof and try to get it snug, but you want to mark off where your puck or pocket lights are gonna be, so you know where to loop it, which is where you're gonna pull that loop through and you'll get access to it later to install the lights. All right, so I routed the wires off camera, starting from, again, where the power source will be. There'll be a switch right next to the bed, and then the wires will kind of run along behind the cabinets and then up the B pillar, and then you'll have the first puck light. That aluminum tape is not fucking holding well. Junk. First puck light, second puck light, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, all in line with each other. I'm gonna retape the shit out of that right now, and then I'm gonna start putting the insulation up. All right, so wiring is all run for the lights, the fans, all that stuff. We got a layer of insulation up on the roof. I'm just gonna tape some of these spots here, but then I'm gonna run furring strips across. All right, so I'm probably not gonna get to the furring strips today because I don't have the screw size that I need. Mine are about a ½ inch too short, so I'm gonna have to run to the store and get those, and maybe I'll cut them to size. I'm also gonna have to cut little slits, lines in the boards so they bend easily, so they can bend to the contour of the van instead of being under an extreme amount of stress and being forced into place. So it's going to be a little bit more time consuming, but I want to make sure that it's done right. So probably get to that tomorrow. So I'm probably going to wrap this video up here, but yeah, tomorrow, as long as it's not raining, it probably doesn't even matter. Even if it's raining, I could probably work on this. Try to get the furring strips in across the top, and then maybe even across the side to completely enclose the roof. And then if it's nice enough all day tomorrow, which I don't think it's going to be, I can start actually installing the tongue and groove boards. If it's not very nice out, I'll get all the furring strips installed, and then I'll sand and do all the staining and all that shit on the boards, and then just wait until the next day to install them. But in the meantime, that's about it. So slow progress. I'll try to make a video every couple of days of my progress. So, but yeah, that's about it for today. So stay tuned, and hopefully we can get this wrapped up in the next couple of weeks, because I got a job on the road coming up here in a few weeks. I gotta have this done because I'm gonna live out of this. So at least while I'm doing that job. So, all right, I'll see you next time. Peace.